Are we ready for some pirate adventure? Kristen here with Enchanted Yarnworks, and this week we are doing some pirate stuff. I'm excited. How about you? Be sure that you're subscribed and that notification bells ring, and please hit that like button to give me some love. And let's see how this next pirate adventure. Army mateys, what we'd be needing to make this pirate hat today are a 4.5 millimeter hook. I am using Mainstays Anti-Pill yarn, both in black and then edging in white. I'm using what I have in my stash because why not? I mean, this yarn is soft but firm and it's nice. I can't complain about it, honestly. So I caked these and then I just made these cute little labels to label them because I think the labels had fallen off, and that's why I didn't stuff them in the middle. And this was when I first started caking originally. So anywho, not that that matters. So this is what we're going to be using. Also, we definitely need some scissors, as always, and our yarn needles, which if you've seen my videos by now, you know my lovely little tin is the way that I go. And I am super, super psyched because check this out. I got these new stitch markers yesterday. Look how tiny this little tin is. Isn't that adorable? But wait, look what's inside. That's a lot of stitch markers. And these guys, I've been working with them since I got them, and I am in love. I don't think I'm going back to any other kind ever. These are metal, so they're not going to snap and break. And they just slide so effortlessly into your yarn stitches. And I cannot rave about them enough. So I'm going to be using these forever. And yeah, that's what we're going to need today. So I will have these beauties, my yarn needles, and my lovely little 4.5 millimeter hook set linked for you down below in the description box. As a reminder, I am an affiliate, Amazon associate, so I may receive a commission for qualifying purchases. Now, Mainstays is from Walmart. You can order that online if you don't have a Walmart nearby, or you can go, if you do, go pick it up, or you can just use any kind of firmer acrylic yarn that you have available. Red Heart would work. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby will work. I do like how firmer and thicker those yarns are, and that'll help give stability to the hat. So without further ado, we're going to get started. All right, so we are going to be working completely in the round today, and how this works is that we're just generally just making a big floppy hat, and we're going to fold up the sides and stitch them up. So I'm going to be working single crochets the whole time. I'm not yarning under, I'm going to yarn over because I am using that smaller hook. I believe this yarn calls for a 5 or 5.5 millimeter, and we're working with a 4.5, so that'll give us more stability and firmness in our finished product. So we're doing a magic ring, and we are going to single crochet 6. Oops, it got a little loose there. I'm just kind of holding the loop there so that it doesn't slide everywhere. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's 6. Now I'm going to pull this mostly closed. And we're just working all the way in the round. So let me hook this going on here. Look how absolutely simple that was. Amazing. Probably want to zoom in just a bit. Okay. So next we are increasing. So that means we are doing 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So we're increasing to 12. Hope you guys can see the stitches. I brightened up my light a little bit and was messing around with lighting colors just to hopefully get so that you could see it better. Because I know black is just hard to see for everybody. So 2, 3, 4. Move this way a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. Okay, dokie. Move this one over. Pull this tighter. There it goes. Okay. Next up, we are increasing to 18. Now, the way I'm going to do increases are a little bit different. A lot of times when you increase in the round, you increase at the same points in each row, and you kind of get that angled circle shape. You get corners. So I'm going to be working these in a manner that it gives you a fully round row each time. So it may be a little confusing and seem different because I'm breaking up the increases and I'm breaking up the single crochet stitches that are single crochet, the non-increases. So with this one, we are going to do an increase in a single crochet to 18. That's our usual way to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15, 16, and 17, and then we finish with 18. Okay, so there's that row. Move this guy over. I'll tell you what, you see how easy it is to use this stitch marker? I'm probably going to say that like 12 times this video. My sincerest apologies in advance because I am in love. Okay, so now we're increasing to 24, and usually you would do 2 single crochets and then an increase, or you would do an increase and then 2 single crochets. What we're going to do is a single crochet, an increase, and then a single crochet, and then repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first set. 5, 6, and 7, then 8, and then 9, 10, and 11, and 12, 13, 14, and 15, and 16, and then 17, 18, and 19, and 20, and then 21, 22, and 23, and then 24. Okay. So yeah, see how you get the little corners along as you go around? Well, as we do this, they're not going to line up, so they won't stay there the same. Now we're increasing to 30. And that is an increase and then 3 single crochets. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7. Eight, 29, and 30. Okay, neat. I think that'll be better. Okay, now we are increasing to 36. So we are single crocheting 2, and then an increase, 3 and 4, and then single crochet 2, 5 and 6, 5, 6, and then 2. So for the next set, 7, 8, increase, 9, 10, 11, 12, next set, and last set, 31, 32, 33, 34, and then 35 and 36. All right. Now we are up to 36 in the round. Did you see how it's not cornering so much? It's definitely more round and stable there. Okay, so next we are doing a full round of 36, not increasing. So from here on out for a while, we're going to do like an increase row, and then we're going to do a stabilizing simple row. So I'm going to do 36 here. Okay, there's 36. So now we are going to increase to 42. And this is where we are increasing and then single crocheting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then repeat. $41 and $42. Okay, so it's going to start to curve, as you can see, because we're doing the extra row of the same. And that's what we want because our hat's gonna curve, right? Okay, this next row we are doing all 42. Okay, there's our 42. Now we are going to increase to 48. Okay, so we are single crocheting 3. And then increasing to 4, 5. And then single crocheting 3, 6, 7, 8, and then repeat. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, 19, 20, 21. And then we're ending in 3. 46, 47, and 48. Okay. Okay, next row we are doing 48 all the way around. Seven, 48. Make a cute little doll cap. Cute. Okay. Next, we're increasing to 54. Which this is just an increase in a single crochet. Yep, it's just an increase and then a single crochet of 7. Okay, so 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then repeat. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay, next row is all 54 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, there's 54. Now we're increasing to 60. So this is a single crochet 4, an increase, and then a single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our first set. Now repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then just continue that around. We're getting some shape here. I like it. Okay, I'm going to continue this around and I will be right back. Okay, so this is 60, and now we're going to increase again to 66. And by doing that, we're going to increase in our first stitch, and then we are going to do 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, and then repeat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that first set gives us a total of 11 stitches. So we're going to do that 6 more times, or 5 more times, and that gets us to 66. So increase. Okay, that's 66 increased. So now we are going to do a full row of 66. Okay. So we're just going to go around 66 times, 66 single crochets, and then I will be back at the end. All right, we are at the end of 66 single crochets in this row. So now for each row that I'm going to do, I am going to either fast forward the video from now on, or I'm going to pause it to the end because these are getting longer and longer, and I know you do not want to sit through, 5 minutes of watching me crochet single crochets. So to save both of us, I will either skip to the end for you, or I will fast forward. I hope you don't mind. So next we are increasing to 72, and we are doing 5 single crochets, and then an increase, and then 5 single crochets again, and repeat. And we're ending with 5 single crochets. Okay, and that gives us 72 around. I'm going to give you an idea here. You can see. Okay. Next up is another row of 72, and I'm definitely going to skip through this rather than fast forward. But I will start, and then there we will go. So that's 1, and that's 2, and then I will see you at the end. Righty. 72 finished. Now, when I finished that, I decided to flip it over and weave in my starting tail so that it wouldn't be in the way later, or it wouldn't be too cumbersome to do it later when everything was made and big and bulky. So next we are going to increase to 78, and that is doing an increase and then 11 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's just going to repeat all the way around, and I'm going to pause this and see you at the end of the row. Okay, and here's 77 and 78. Okay, and now we're going to increase again to 84. And that is 6 single crochets, and then an increase, and then 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, increase. So essentially you could just count 12 between your increases, and then you should end with a 6 at the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then increase. Okay, I'm going to finish the round and I'll be right back. Okay, so then we have 6 more. 78, 79, 80. Sorry, I started with 79, 80, 81, 82, 80, 83, and 84. Okay. And our last increase for a little bit, we are increasing to 90. So this is an increase and then single crochet 13. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and there's 15. Okay, so then repeat that, increase, and 13 over and over to get to 90. And 89 and 90. Alrighty, that is it for increasing right now. This is the bucket part of our hat. And after this, we have 5 rows of 90, 5 rows of 90 to make it deeper. And then we will do the brim. Okay, so that's what you're going to do next. 5 rows of just 90 single crochet. And then I will see you back when it's time to do the brim. I have the last 5 rows of 90 single crochets completed, and now it is time to work on the brim. So what I want to show you or discuss here is that, let me move this over. Here is the top, right? Let's zoom out some more. And this is going to be the part that, sits on your head. And then the brim is going to be folded up. So in order to keep right sides facing out, we are going to turn and work on the wrong side that we've been working on. That's what we're going to do so that everything looks nice. Okay, so that just got hooked on there. So let me zoom in again a little bit. And this is getting bigger, so yeah, it might be a little bit awkward. Actually, what I want to do is slip stitch over here, and then I'm going to turn. And let me move him over. And we're just going to work straight in this stitch that we just made. So we need to increase to 102 stitches, and we are going to do 3 single crochets, an increase, and then 3 single crochets. Okay, and we have 3 left. And then we're just going to go straight over as we continue on in our next row, which we do need to increase. Again, move this over. And that's going to, the height of that is just going to match over, and it's going to be perfectly fine. So now we need to increase, and we are doing an increase and then single crochet 7 all the way around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then repeat. 5, 6, and the last of the 7. Okay. Next, we are increasing again. So this entire section is an increase. There's no staying the same with the stitch count for the brim. Okay, so we're increasing to 126, and we need to single crochet 4, then increase, and then 4 again, and then repeat. Okay, and I will see you at the end of the row. Next, we are increasing to 138 single crochets around, and we are doing increase in our first stitch, 1, 2, and then 9 single crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. There we are. That's our 138. Next up is 150. So we are going to single crochet 5, and then increase, and then single crochet 5 again, and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then repeat all the way around. 150 complete. Now we're increasing to 162. So move this over, and we are going to increase in our first stitch and then single crochet 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there's 13. Okay, so then you're just going to continue that around. You're increasing 2 and then single crocheting 11. Okie dokie. We are almost finished with the brim. We have 3 more rows, 2 more increases, and then 1 non-increase. So this increase we have 6 single crochets, an increase, and then 6 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guys, I absolutely know that this video is probably getting a little monotonous or tedious. Yes, it's a long one with a lot of just rows and increases, and I apologize for that, but I don't know. I think the best way to get us through it is to pause like I'm doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 6. Okay, so that's the first set. So 6, increase, and then 6, and then repeat all the way around. And I will see you at the end. Okie dokie, here is our last increasing row. And we are going up to 186 single crochets. Just finished increasing up to 174. So this is where we are increasing in our first stitch. So 1, 2, and then we are single crocheting 13, and then repeating that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there's 13. Okay, so there's the section that we're just going to continue all the way around again, and I will see you at the end. 184, 185, and 186. All right, last row of the black. Now after this row, you can decide to finish off, or you can add the white border or any color border. Actually, that's your preference. I am going to add the white border per the pattern so you can see how it looks, but yes, you could not do that. And you could just kind of skip ahead until we go ahead and fold up the ends and tack them up. So here we go. We're going to this is not increasing. This is 186 crochets around. And here we go. Getting almost to the end. Okie dokie. There we are. So now we are going to do an invisible join. So how you do the invisible join is, so this loop here goes over that stitch, obviously, right? And then we're going to be pulling our needle thread through the second one from here. And looping around, and that's going to create a loop right here in that space. Okay, so there's this, and then you go back down through that loop and then into the front of this bottom loop down. Oh, so sorry, of this bottom loop down here. It's like where that bottom loop and the beginning of this stitch, these two loops of this stitch meet right here. And that's going to create a loop right there. Just like so. And it's called an invisible join because it's difficult to see that you have joined there. Okay, so I'm going to weave this in. Go back and forth to a couple different places, a couple different ways. Okay, there we are. Now, like I said, you can end here if you like, or you can join me for the edging, which we're going to do in white. Again, I'm using the Mainstays from Walmart, the Anti-Pill. And what it says, we need to attach the coordinating yarn. What we're going to do then is I'm going to make a slip knot, and we're doing single crochets. So I'm just going to go right in here and make a single crochet, just like that. Put my stitch marker here. So we need to increase to 198. So that is 1. We need 6 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now an increase. And then 7 single crochets, and then we repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our first grouping. Okay? And now we repeat. Okay, 198 complete. Now we need our last increase. This will get us to 210, and we are doing an increase and then 15 single crochets. So increase here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to say, working with the white is so refreshing after doing all of this black. I said 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, there's your repeat. Increase, and then 15. I will see you at the end. Okie dokie. All right, one more row, and that's just all straight single crochets. 210 single crochets. Okie dokie. Here we are. All finished. We're going to do another invisible join. So just like last time. There it is. Right. Okay, weave these in. Alrighty, so I have our hat, which absolutely doesn't look like it's going to do what we want it to do. I have it sitting on my cake of yarn just to give it some stability. So what we need to do is kind of fold up one of the sides because we're making a tricorn, which means 3 corners, right? And then another side, and then the other side. So then what we need to do, you can see that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stitch marker and kind of stitch it up here where I want it to go. And that'll make it easier for me to tack it in at the end. I hope that makes sense to you. You could use a safety pin. You could use whatever you need to, or you could eyeball it. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the black yarn and I'm going to do it from the inside. So that means I have to flip this over. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Flip it over. Probably adjust that a little bit if I need to. Get my needle. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start over here. I'm not too worried about what it's, well, let's see. Let's go right here to this one in front of me. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. And take him out. If you hear a cat in the background, that's my Milo. He wants in. He's always got to check on me, make sure I'm okay. All right. Okay. Cut that end off. And tie this together. Then I'm going to stitch this through here before I cut it and move on to the other side. And I will come back and weave these in better. Okay. Next side, we have these ones. Okay, that's what I'm going to do through all of this, as I'm sure you can gather. So I'll just fast forward here so you don't have to watch all of 10 minutes of me stitching. Okay? And then we shall be done in just a few minutes. Are my mateys. My hat is finished. I be a true pirate now. I must be a pirate now. I got my hat. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have ideas on how you want to make a pirate hat and what you'd use it for. Definitely, if you are doing a Halloween thing, it's perfect for pirate costume, but definitely getting ready for Talk Like a Pirate Day on September 19th. So again, thanks for hanging out with me today. Please make sure you're subscribed and that notification bell is dinged. And then please hit that like button so I know that I did a good job for you today and show me some love. Again, thanks for hanging out with me today. And tomorrow is the next installment to get ready for Talk Like a Pirate Day. See you then.